Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Scrap 5 challenge. Today Moira chose our 5 items we must use on our layouts, and we're using punches or dies, washi, flare, stickers, and multiple photos. Now be sure to check out my description box and follow along with us and see what everyone did today with their layouts and how they use all of these items. And if you would like to participate and use these items on your layout as well, be sure to share it with us in the comments. Let us know where we can find your layout, or you can also go ahead and tag us on Instagram using the hashtag Scrap5. So up front, I'm using 5 photos on my layout. So I'm crossing off the first item already, and I'm going to be documenting these photos of my grandson. And these are some cute photos I found on my tablet where he's taking selfies of himself. So I also used the branding strip for this pattern paper that I'm using for my background. And I'm going to cross off the second item on the list, which would be to use a punch or die. And I'm going to go ahead and punch that out using that notebook punch. I am going to add that to the bottom of my layout later on in this process. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and mat my photos, and this would be the main photo on my layout. This one would be larger than the other 4, and I matted it on some blue cardstock and now this pattern paper. Now I went ahead and matted the rest of my photos on the blue cardstock as well, but I did not have enough, so I decided to use what I had and cut some strips and then piece them all together to create mats behind my photo. And I'll show you right now how I went ahead and did that. So you can see I added adhesive to one side of the photo, place it on one of the strips and cut off the excess, and I just do that all the way around using those strips, and I do that to all of these photos. So here I'm going to begin some clusters on this layout using some die cut pieces from the Indigo and Ivy collection, and I use mostly items from the Indigo and Ivy collection on my layout today, and I'll have all of these items that I use linked in my description box. Now I'm adding in 2 frames here from the die cut pack, and you can see here I did snip my frames into 2 pieces. So I added part of it to the top cluster on the left, and here I'm adding in the other 2 pieces to the bottom of that larger photo that's on my layout. And the part that I just snipped off from the bottom of that frame, I do go ahead and punch it out using the notebook punch, and I add that to the border that I added on the bottom of my layout. So here I'm going to work on my title next, and my title says hashtag selfies. Now I added in these navy blue thickers, and these are from the Indigo and Ivy collection as well. And once I added those onto the layout, they were a bit small. They did not stand out enough. And I decided to go with the silver glitter alphas instead. So I had to piece together some pieces of the letter I. I cut them apart and pieced them together to create my hashtag sign, because these thicker sheets did not have that sign on there, and I could not find one with the hashtag on there. So I just went ahead and created my own, and I added in the word selfies as well. So here I am crossing off washi from my list. I am adding in the silver washi just to bring a bit more silver onto the layout, since my title is in silver as well. And you can see I split that silver washi down the center. Well, maybe not exactly the center, but I did go ahead and tear it apart and added some of it to the top left cluster. I added some to the lower part of my layout as well. So here I'm crossing off stickers from my list, and I'm using some of the word phrase stickers from this sticker sheet, and I also added in a flare as well. And that flare says daily, and I do not have a lot of flares. What you saw in that little tin is all that I have, and that's the only flare that worked really well with the layout. and I added that to the lower right corner of my photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in some word phrases to my clusters, and you can see I did not add much to the other photos at all. I just stuck mostly to the clusters that I already have on this layout. Now I keep this really, really simple. I am just adding in some of these. These are not enamel dots. Some of them are like enamel dots, but some of those are foam pieces as well. And I absolutely love these pieces. So I'm just sprinkling those all around my layout, sticking closely to the clusters, of course. Some of the foam ones are, of course, dimensional, so it adds a little bit of interest and dimension to the layout. And some of those are smaller and more like enamel dots. Now here I'm adding in some splatters, and I am using acrylic ink in the color Peruvian blue hue. This ink is from Liquitex, and I am going to add those in all around my layout. So at this point, I'm loving how this look. It's very simple, but I love how it looked, but something was missing. So I went in with my gray fine liner, and I'm just adding in a doodly border. And I think that pulled it all together. I add that all the way around, and that completes this layout. So be sure to check out my description box. Go over to the other ladies participating today and see how they use these 5 items on their project. And if you participate, like I mentioned before, be sure to let us know down in our comments and let us know where we can find your layout. We'd love to check it out. So here's a close-up shot. I do have some still photos as well coming up. And I hope you guys enjoy the project today. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. And if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I would love if you would click on that button today and subscribe. And also hit the notification bell. That way you'll know once I upload new videos. So I want to thank you all for watching today. And until my next video, bye.